Right now, Hillary Clinton comes clean.
I'm sorry about that.
But is the apology too late? Big win for Serena. And our own Michelle Collins is holding court at the U.S. Open and taking a swing at making her tennis dreams come true. Plus, the hilarious Gerard Carmichael, Loretta Devine, and David Alan Grier. It all starts now on The View with Whoopi, Michelle Collins, Joy Behar, Raven Simone, and Paula Ferris. Now, let's get things started.
Survivor, that's the song that Kentucky clerk Kim Davis triumphantly walked out of jail to yesterday, and we're going to talk about that a little later on. And we want you all to, we want you all to weigh in on all of our hot topics. So get on Twitter right now at #TheView. You may see your tweet right here later in the show.
By me, I'm going to read them out right now.
All right, all right. So last night, Hillary Clinton sat down with ABC anchor David Muir. I love it. We do a little plug for ABC News, you know. We say ABC anchor, but it's the fabulous David Muir. So she sat down with him, and really it was the first time she talked to anybody. And she's talking about her personal email and the scandal that follows it. Take a look. Okay.
Everybody in the government I communicated with, and that was a lot of people, knew I was using a personal email. But I'm sorry that it has, raised all of these questions. I do take responsibility for having made what is clearly not the best decision.
They couldn't wait for her to say, I'm sorry. It's not enough to say, I apologize. She has to grovel. This is what they want from the woman. And yeah, I mean, really, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. She's not Charles Manson, okay?
But I think
she just has some email issues.
She has some email issues, but they're clearly dogging her because she's now down
to emails. And it's look, let me finish one idea. It's obvious to everybody that you can have this email and that email. You can have two email addresses. Somehow that threw the woman off.
I don't buy that. I think she knew, actually, and I don't think it's that huge of a deal, but I do think she knew exactly what she was doing, that one of them was not...
But it's been done before.
The information that she said she put through her personal and the one that she put through the secure email, she said that the information wasn't classified then. Like she didn't know which one to put
classified
where later.
After. But I think the fact is her campaign wants her to look more human. They want her to have a heart. But is it almost disingenuous at this point to come out? Is it too little too late, or is it just reactive to everything that's going on?
It's kind of
to
funny.
the fact that Bernie Sanders is now beating her in New Hampshire. So is the apology disingenuous?
Well, look, they're all disingenuous. Okay, we demand from them that they be above everything. We want them to walk on water, basically. Now, I totally get and am behind her with two separate emails just for this reason.
Wait, I don't understand. What do you mean? You get what?
I get why she had two separate emails.
But she didn't. That's the problem.
She did. She had a personal.
She had a personal.
But she put it all on. But they got mixed up. Whatever was government emails was mixed in with personal emails. That was the problem. She didn't separate.
She should have only used one, and frankly, it should have just been the White House email address.
There was somebody on Twitter that says rock and roll. He says that it's that person says it's kind of meaningless, and she has empathetically insisted for months that she has nothing to apologize for.
Yeah, but today.
Do you care if she apologizes?
I don't care if she apologizes. I want to know what she's going to do for the economy. I want to know what she's going to do for the country. I don't care. But back to my point.
But you want to know what she's going to do.
There is a reason for her to have separate emails.
Yeah.
Because people have been up her butt since her husband left office.
She got the blame for...
They want to know all her personal. They want to know all the personal. With all of the hacking that goes on,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I would have separated them too.
But you know,
want to go through one thing? That's okay. You go through the other
when
stuff.
When Bill was in the Lewinsky scandal, and people thought she should have left him. Imagine if she had left him, they would have been even more angry with her. She can't win. Benghazi, they found nothing. Whitewater, they found nothing. It's like there always seems to be after.
Are they being forced to apologize, by the way? And it's kind of funny. It reminds me of like in Terminator when he like learned how to cry. You know what I mean? It's like, why does she have to emote all of a sudden? I don't think
because people want to see authenticity, and that's why Donald Trump, who by the way is going to be calling in the show tomorrow, that's why people are why he's resonated with people, because he's authentic. He's not beholden to a base.
Emotional. Okay, I also don't cry a lot. That's my authentic self. I'm not.
But she, and if she was to a lot of people, she feels very staged and very scripted, and they want her to go off the cuff. You're going to see her.
We need a female president, and I feel like sometimes people feel like if she's too emotional, you can't handle it. And this has, you know, been talked about many times.
Period now.
Exactly. Well, there you go.
Because that used to be the reason that people said you would not have a female president, because oh my God, she'd get a period and press the button and the whole world would have.
I need to make sure. Like what
she's going to get trouble from them. You know, they gave so much trouble to Barack Obama, the first black president. This will be the first woman president. You think it's going to be easy for her?
No.
They will make her life miserable.
I feel a double
standard. She has the guts to take it on, I think.
Right.
She does, and I don't feel like she has to be super emotional or apologize for something that she doesn't feel that way, because if somebody's pressuring her to do that, what's she going to do for the country later? We're pressuring you to do this, so apologize to somebody for starting something. You're going to stand your ground.
He will not take. If you cry in front of Putin, he's throwing your ass out of the
gulag.
People don't want tears, but the facts of the matter, you guys, she is down 18 points since April.
Yes,
if you were her campaign, what do you advise her to do?
The first thing you do is you say, you know what? This is going to happen. You're going to go like this, because that's what happens in elections.
Well, she's going down.
Well, you know, lots of people have gone down and come back up.
It's not a
the
good
last time
at this point.
But I'm sorry, it didn't hurt Barack Obama last time, because you know, he was way in the toilet, came back, and everybody, he was shocked. He was shocked. He was so far down. He was like, oh snap.
Yeah.
You know,
she'll be back.
Yeah,
as soon as this blows over.
But she has to testify in front of Congress the end of October, so this is not going to blow over.
No, it's not going to blow over, but she's going to, you know, it's going to happen. This is what it is. This is the job. You got to explain in front of 500 people. Every time you do something, you want to be president?
You know
that's what you got to do.
And that's what somebody on Twitter said. They said that Bill and Hillary are covered in Teflon. She'll survive.
And this is on Twitter, Joy. Yeah. Apparently,
this is
social media.
We stepped it up.
Yeah.
Amazing, didn't it?
We stepped it up.
Yeah.
Piggy bank and
that's right. That's right. We got one.
We don't have enough co-hosts on this show. We also have people on Twitter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh.
Working here.
Nobody's doing anything. Everybody's tweeting. It's all right. Listen.
Hillary downloaded Snapchat, by the way. I'm done. I just have to point that out. She's Snapchatting America.
I Snapchat too, and I thought it was something totally different. But then when I realized what it was, anyway, you know, last night Stephen Colbert made his big debut, and one of his first guests was another candidate who wants to show voters who he is, Jeb Bush. Yeah. Now Colbert asked him what he thought he would do differently in the White House than his brother did, and this is what he said.
I think my brother probably didn't control the Republican Congress spending. I think he should have brought the hammer down on the Republicans when they were spending way too much, because our brand is limited government. You know, you can take care of people, the people that need to be on the front of the line, the development disabled, people that are really struggling. Yeah. That's a core value of our party, but we shouldn't spend so much money on everything else.
Wow, they're like the Williams sisters of the White House. I like it. It's like a little competition, friendly competition. I like that he kind of talks smack about it. I'm excited by that. I'm like, go, Jeb. This is fun.
You know what she's talking about?
Williams sisters. Guys,
Venus and Serena.
Venus and Serena, the Williams sisters. Please, I'll storm off if you don't know what I'm talking about.
But they're the one people that I'm like, I don't really remember their last name. I'm like, it's Venus and Serena. Like, I was confused.
The Williams sisters? Who am I talking about?
No, the Williams sisters, but there's a lot of Williams out there.
Wait, back to Jeb Bush. Can we get back to Jeb Bush for a second?
Yes,
Jeb Bush,
absolutely. Jeb
Bush is saying that he disagrees with his brother on fiscal things, money. What about the invasion of Iraq that was based on lies? What about that? He doesn't say anything about that. Well, that would be brave, and that would show people that he really has more of a personality than Trump says he doesn't have.
Unless he doesn't feel that way. I mean, you know.
The problem with this guy is even comedians are bored with him.
Yeah.
You know, the brother at least gave you something. This one is like, what?
I think anybody compared to Trump, though, is going to be pretty boring.
Trump
but
is very entertaining.
The first
You guys,
step that
watch
he
him
took
become
If you're not
president.
Mexican, he's very entertaining.
Watch him.
Well, there is that.
It's clear from the beginning that he's been trying to distance himself from his brother because you look at his logo, it's Jeb. There's there's not even a mention of his last name.
They look like different DNA. I mean, Jeb is like a big guy. They don't look related, right? Jeb is like very, very tall,
He
and
looks like
George
the
is
mother.
there like, you know, little pipsqueak
Jeb
next
looks
to him.
like
He's
his
adorable.
mother.
Yeah. Jeb, yeah.
Jeb does, yeah.
He's adorable.
He's a little George
Wow.
W.
You know.
He's like a little ventriloquist dummy. I mean that as a compliment. As a compliment.
No, I
She
understand.
means that in a positive way.
I mean it as a thumbs up, guys.
There's no way out of this one, so I'm just going to move us on.
Go.
You know, somebody already mentioned this, so you might want to move that on for me.
Oh,
Thank
okay.
you. Keep going. Keep moving that on. Keep moving it on. Keep moving it on. Oh, my God.
I'll just
Move
sing.
the thing.
I'll just sing.
So, you know, if you want to ask, thank you. Keep moving. And I tell you what, while we
on,
fix this
Butler.
BS, we'll be right back.
Hello, we're the cast of the Carmichael Show, and we're up later on The View.
This is the new view.
This is the new View.
Yeah.
So I'm going to replace one of you, and then so you'll come back later.
I know
You'll come back later. Like,
I wrote the
you-
Hey, now welcome back. You know, yesterday, Kim Davis, the Kentucky clerk who was arrested for refusing to issue marriage licenses to gay couples, was freed from jail, and candidate Mike Huckabee was there. He was cheering her on. Take a look.
I am willing to spend the next 8 years in the White House leading this country, but I want you to know I'm willing to spend the next 8 years in jail, but I'm not willing to spend one day under the tyranny of people who believe they can take our freedom and conscience away.
Does he know that what he's fighting? I mean, I understand he's fighting for the religious freedom, but does he know that he's like pushing away a whole bunch of people that will vote for you?
Alienating?
Thank you.
Do you
Alienating?
believe he's going to go to jail? Has he seen The Shawshank Redemption?
I would love that. Huckabee was here. I would vote for him if he goes to jail for 8 years. Let me finish my sentence.
Okay.
Please, for God's sake. Before you literally go nuts.
Day two.
No, if he went to jail for 8 years, I would consider voting for him. I'm like, no, he's dedicated. And you know, he'd have to survive in 8 years in jail, which I would love to watch that A&E show. Huckabee lockup. I'd be so in. I'd be all over it. And you know what's funny? Yesterday I said, we were talking about Kim Davis.
Yeah.
And you know, I got a little heated. Enjoy, you know, your and you know, I called her a name. I'm a comedian, and I called her name, and that's really not what it was about. It was more about that, like, she is someone to me who, if you're working for the government and you can't support the Constitution, to me, you shouldn't have the job, and that's really what it boils down to. So I'm just here to say, everyone just lighten up. You know what I mean?
You know what? I think, Michelle, I just want to say, whether or not people had issue with that, I personally had an issue with, we were talking about this table, how she was such a hypocrite, and she'd been married 4 times, and she got pregnant, she had an affair. But the thing about Christianity is, and I'm born again, I've made a slew of mistakes, but it's about grace and forgiveness. And in her defense, all of this happened before she became a Christian. She became a Christian
born again.
before she was born again. And when you are born again, you
Isn't that
obviously
hard? The first time was hard enough.
Yeah, and I know. I don't remember it. My mom does, and she always tells me she brought me into this world, she can take me out. But you know, Christianity is about starting over again. It's about grace and forgiveness. It's in a new creation. You know, I was raised in a Christian home, but you know, just because you're raised in a Christian home doesn't mean a whole lot.
Let me ask you, why did you have to be born again? Were you a sinner?
No, I believe that we're sinners saved by grace. And I think until you accept that and accept that it's something beyond you, and you accept that you're not going to get to heaven on your own will, none of us have, and none of us are worthy of grace.
Let me just say, as a Jewish person, on Yom Kippur, we have 1 day a year. We don't eat for 1 day. We pull a full Gwyneth, and then and then we're forgive for only 1 year. It's actually a great deal. You know, Jon Stewart has a joke about it.
I want to be Jewish during the high holidays.
That's a Jon Stewart
Here's
joke.
the thing that always gets me when folks do this. What makes you think that the folks who were trying to get married were also not born again?
Right.
What makes anybody believe that they also are not in the state of grace? This is the thing this is the thing about God. You know, if you're following the big JC's friends, he liked everybody. He walked with all kinds of folks.
Right. He did.
And he said, listen, I'm the only one you need to talk to. You want to talk to me?
You don't have to go through a priest.
That's right. No one else has the right to tell you. He who is without sin, cast the first stone.
Judge not, lest he be judged.
That's right. So maybe, I'm just saying maybe, if she really truly practices what is the Christian belief, which is that we all are striving to be better people.
I don't hear that in the public a lot from the Christian people fighting
but I'm suggesting that we remind people that what Christianity is. It's not the party of go away. It's the party of come here. We got you.
Welcoming, but it's not. Like my church will say, we welcome all lifestyles, but we don't affirm all lifestyles. You still, some people feel like you still have to take
But you know, but that's okay.
That's between you and God.
That's right. That's right. And so welcome back. You know, a Baptist pastor who was exposed as a client of a cheating website, Ashley Madison, just took his own life recently. One of several suicides that may be linked to the hacking scandal. So who's at fault here? Is it the cheater? Is it the hackers? Is it the website? I mean, what is happening here?
It seems like there's enough guilt to go around, don't you think?
Yeah.
I mean, everybody committed some kind of sin here.
I don't think you can
Back
blame...
to the Christian conversation.
Yeah.
You know, adultery is one of the 10 Commandments. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife. Is that how it goes?
Yeah, something like that.
Hello.
Yeah, but it's not...
On the web or not.
This guy, I think, was suffering from depression, so I don't think you can actually blame the hackers outright. I mean, obviously, what they did will lead to some things, but, you know, there were other cases that are similar to this. Like, remember on To Catch a Predator on Dateline, when they once went to this guy's house because they were trapping him, and he committed suicide in the house. And they ended up settling that out of court. There are other issues like this. You cannot blame hackers directly for a man's suicide.
But, I mean, they did release information, and he is a public figure, and there's multiple suicides connected to this same hack. I don't know. I would watch that trial if it did go.
But that's a guilt thing. I mean, that's what you were saying. It's like these are people who are dealing with other issues. I mean, suicides happen every day.
Yeah, but they wouldn't have killed themselves if that hack didn't happen.
How do you know that?
You right.
Thank you, girl.
But don't you think it interesting, though, how many people cheat? I mean, maybe monogamy is monotonous. I'm sorry.
I'm a serial monogamist, though. I hate cheating. It's rude. I had somebody cheat on me, had a baby by another girl, and then he asked me to be the godmother. You know who you are. Listen, it didn't go over well.
And she's still bitter.
Yeah, I'm still bitter. That's rude. Do not cheat.
No, but I'm just saying, it's like maybe people can't handle monogamy. There were thousands and thousands of, mostly men, of course, to be on there. The women were like, no, I'll find somebody at the office, thank you.
Let me tell you something. My best friend is a gay guy. He is very involved in the gay community, and I hear, just I'm speaking first-person stories, like there are a lot of gay couples, male couples, who have open relationships. They call them throuples.
Oh, the guys.
The guys, they bring a third one in for fun.
Yeah.
Throuple.
They're more open to that because you understand that you're still a human and you're going to have needs. When you start bogging people down,
you know, when you get my book that comes out in October, yeah, I talk about this because one of the biggest hindrances to a good relationship is the lie we go into a relationship with,
which is to honor and obey forever.
Well, no, which is listen. I will never do anything. I've never done anything. And when you know that the person is someone who has had other folks in their life, and you say, no, I can yes, you're perfect, you're as you are. Yeah. The truth is, listen, I have had this issue. I've done this a couple of times. I don't know that I can totally go through with it, with this way. Can you stay with me or no?
Well, Tessa says on Twitter, sorry,
Tessa.
You know Tessa, our other co-host.
She says there's no...
Josh Duggar's wife, Tessa?
She's tweeting at us,
That's his sister.
This is not her sister. Oh. His sister. No innocent parties here. So many more men on the site than women. It's too interesting. I mean, because women, for me, we actually go into the field and cheat. Not that I've done it.
We don't have to pay to cheat.
We don't have to pay to cheat.
Wait. What, are we picking cotton when we're in the 40? We go into the... Oh, yeah.
Well, you look at a lot of the dating websites, on that note, Raven, a lot of the dating websites, a lot of the folks there are married or in relationships. So I want to go back to what you said too. You know, you go into this relationship. Can you stay with me? I have some of these issues. The sad part about this particular incident with the Baptist pastor was, they say that he was, you know, such a giver and such an altruist in his community, always doing for others and extended so much grace, but didn't extend that grace back to himself. He never gave his wife a chance to even forgive him. And that's the sad part, because there are a lot of people in this country that go
Why
through...
couldn't he just be born again instead of killing himself?
Well, I mean, you know, that's
a way out,
just
isn't
because
it?
you're a Christian does not mean that you're above any sort of temptation. And in fact, like, pride comes before the fall. You think that's not going to happen to you, and boom, you're on your way.
But then maybe that's why we have to tell ourselves the truth. Anything is possible.
It is.
In our lifetime. Yep. I'm going to do my best not to. But
you know,
if it happens,
I would like him to show more of a role model stance and work through it.
And suicide is also not...
So there was also a mental illness happening. That's what I'm explaining. It's not just they set him off, but like... There's other things going on. I don't think you can blame one thing for
I don't think you can blame one thing, but I do think that
he's in the wrong job, just like Kim Davis is in the wrong job. Yeah. If you can't do the job of the pastor and have faithfulness to your spouse or your flock,
work at Starbucks, guys.
Right.
Just make fraps. It's easy.
But at the same time, a lot of these positions, the more you have to lose, it seems like the more you are attacked. I have a lot of friends that are pastors, and the temptation it's enormous because they have so much to lose.
It's like when you say no to a child. They want it more.
It's like a celebrity. You wonder and you shun us for like having our drug addiction and our alcoholism. You're in the public eye. You are being worshipped by someone ultimately. And he's in a very stressful position.
And also, may I just point out that if the flock is flocking to you in a way that is not right, there's something going on in the flock.
Or you're getting flocked. That's the problem.
And on that note, I'm just gonna go. We'll be right back with the cast of the Carmichael Show. There they are, right over there.
Carmichael Show is the most watched summer comedy in almost a decade. Comedian Gerard Carmichael, the talented Loretta Devine, and the hilarious David Alan Grier stars a family who are not afraid to have those real conversaciones. Take a look.
The Reverend coming over, you know I love Reverend.
No, I do not want to challenge in the way you do. You know, you're the same kid who shut down the study with your theory of evolution.
You realize not just my theory, right?
Who's this friend? He's been living at my church since before these boys were born. He has stuck with us through thick and thin.
Oh, he's a good man. A bit of a girl. But in a good way, like Ted Kennedy.
They're funny. Please welcome Gerard Carmichael, Loretta Devine, and David Alan Grier.
That's my friend Rami.
Yeah, Rami is the greatest
He's
person
an
ever.
amazing person. He's a comedian out of Los Angeles. He was on the Nickelodeon. He's Egyptian. I love you.
He's amazing. He's hilarious. Yeah.
I don't know.
You need to know.
He's great.
But what do the tweeters say? David, you and Loretta met on Dreamgirls, right?
Yes. So many years ago.
A lifetime ago. Stop it, David.
Did you have a thing?
No. Did you like
No, he was the new kid on the block. All the little girls were after him, and he was so scared. He was terrified.
Let's talk about that.
Anyway, it's going to be great. I'm going to write an episode where David's character is on Ashley Madison.
That would be funny, hilarious.
Do that.
That's hilarious.
All right, let's talk about you, because you grew up in North Carolina, right? Yes. How did you hone your comedy skills? Where'd you come from?
It's all the places you're not supposed to laugh. you know, like funerals and just like in school. It's like all the places you're not supposed to. If you can get people to laugh in those circumstances, then you're good.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
know, and so that just kind of those types of situations. And
There's
to not do
tension.
homework.
There's tension, so you start giggling, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
a lot of tension. And comedians love it when everybody's really serious. Yeah.
Of
And it's just, yeah, then you can break
Then
through
you
that.
just, that's right.
How's it being on set with, I mean, the king of comedy over here?
Oh, I love Gerard. I love Loretta. I mean, I saw Loretta at the audition. I was coming in. She was coming out. And I was like, what's up? What's going on? I wanted to know if she got the job.
She had to audition. The woman
We
knows what she's
both do.
doing.
It's hard out there.
We were at both at the audition, yes.
It was an immediate, you see David and Loretta, first of all, you're already a fan, you're excited.
Yeah.
And then it's just like an immediate, yes, there were no other options.
Which is
You
why
know,
they called us back 4 times.
It's the truth. It's the truth.
I said yes immediately. There are more people involved in the project.
You know, the networks are crazy. It's a wonder they didn't turn the whole cast into white people.
It was a suggestion.
Yeah.
It was a suggestion.
That happens. That happens. Okay, so you moved to LA to start this comedy world,
Yes.
but you were 20 years old. Is he acting up, or has he been very LA-trified yet? Or is
Can
he
I say
still
this?
down to
Can I
earth?
say this?
Please.
Gerard has handled the pressures of a show. This really is his vision.
Yeah.
This is his show. And not once ever have I seen him come to work with that burden of having him deal with the studio, the network, the writers.
How come?
Don't ask me. I'm trying to figure out what drugs he's taking, because I need more of those.
You know how
He
I was
handles
on the
it
show.
with such grace
And he
such...
called, I heard, I don't know if it's true, but I was told that he called a lot of people that have been successful in the business and asked them for pointers.
Very
His
good.
hands, he's in all of it. He really is incredible. I am so...
He's modest.
Da-da-da.
That's good.
Rasta Diva.
Season two will be all cocaine, so you have nothing to worry about.
I feel it. I can feel it.
Yeah, no, it's fun. I mean, it's fun to be able to work with. I don't really think about the process itself. It's like you just want to make something funny, you want to make something good, and you find the best
And edgy.
actors.
You wanna make it edgy.
Well, we want to have real conversations.
That's right.
You know, that's what's great about this show is that you guys get to talk about very honest things in an honest way, and so that's what we want to do on the show. Uh-oh, wait a minute.
Coming.
Whoopi,
you
you
say
have
Whoopi?
something special for next year?
But perhaps it depends if we go for it.
Can I come play?
I would love it.
okay.
I would love it. Whoopi, season 2, Whoopi, that'll be amazing. Whoopi's a crazy cousin.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Whoopi thinks this is an employment service.
Here's the thing.
times, right?
She's in.
You guys. First of all, I have to give love to Miss Loretta. You know I've loved you forever, working together. He's much better on set than I am, obviously, because your show got picked up. All right, yeah, that was a show. We're not going to talk about it. We're going to do a game right now, and because you guys are called, the new sitcom family, The Carmichael Show, as a part of that, we're going to play a little game called Carmichael Likely? Anyway, here's how you play the game.
Carm Likely 2.
Carm Likely 2. Thank you, Drunk. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys paddles.
Yep.
Pass that down. Thank you, because the jacket is tight. And we're going to ask you a few questions, and you're going to hold up your paddle to, who actually fits the bill. Ready?
Yes.
Who's most Carmichael? I can't say this word, you guys.
Carm Likely.
To burst into song.
Oh. Ooh, yeah, Loretta. Definitely.
That's 2 Loretta, 3 Loretta.
like it.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely Loretta. Definitely Loretta.
All right.
There's a lot of...
Try to get your panels straight first.
Well, when
Get
I
the
done
panels
screwed
straight.
up.
Yeah,
Yeah, put the
I got all of them.
Yeah. Okay, you ready? All right. Who's most Carm likely to break out into an impression?
Yeah. It's David.
Of course, we all do.
No. Here's the thing. He's doing an impression right there.
David, what's your best impression?
That's not obscene?
No, that's very obscene.
Do the obscene one.
Yeah, it's morning television, man.
Come on.
I love
we're
Teddy
running out of
Pendergrass. I do my own little version of Teddy Pendergrass.
Teddy Pendergrass?
Yeah. What else? Does he do?
I mean, he does a lot. I mean,
Al Green.
Al Green, do Al Green before we go.
I can't. You put me on the love and happiness. Make you wanna.
That's hilarious. I love you guys. You're terrific. Thanks to Gerard Carmichael, Loretta Devine, and the very talented over here, very funny, David Allen Graham. The season finale of The Carmichael Show airs tonight. Check your local listings. When we come back, Michelle is taking you to the U.S. Open. Yes?
Now, let me ask you this. Do you think if I were to grunt, it would help? I do. Here we go. That one actually is now in Brooklyn.
Last night, Serena and Venus Williams tore up the court at the U.S. Open. Serena won that match. Fantastic win. Yeah. And apparently this all brought back some very tough childhood memories. Michelle.
Most things do, Whoopi. Most things do.
Go ahead, girl.
Well, guys, you know, growing up, I was always tall. I know it's the second Google search for me, actually. I'm 6'1", so you guys can stop Googling. And I was convinced that I had the makings of a tennis champion. I mean, look at this wingspan. I have a 6'5" wingspan. I'm honestly terrifying, okay? I'm like the third Williams sister, fourth if you include Wendy. But instead of handing, thank you, sir, instead of handing me a tennis racket, my parents handed me a violin, which is why I am on The View instead of a tennis superstar. It's very sad. I still have not forgiven them. So I went to the U.S. Open a few days ago to see if I could still make my tennis dreams come true. Take a look.
Wow.
I have really big dreams, I want you to know. Maybe not the U.S. Open, but like the Schenectady Open. Like something smaller, but that I have a chance. Can I have a catch my breath break?
This might be the hardest task I've ever had as a coach.
Is Djokovic watching? Is Djokovic here?
Awesome.
Kathy Delaney, what do you do here?
Well, during the U.S. Open, I am in charge of the ball people.
Well, that's exactly the person I want to talk to because I think that if the tennis playing isn't going to work, which obviously it is, but I think I'd also be a great ball person. You know, I have 2 working knees. I've got the height, long arm. It can do a long reach.
Good. Do you want me to have one of the boys show you?
I would prefer. Can I have the one who's over 18?
And go.
Okay.
Go. You have to go. Got it. You got to go fast. You can't talk to the player either. She goes across the net like she's doing a fashion show or something. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw a few balls. And the 3 of you are going to race down, and we're going to see who can get there fastest. You know.
What's the prize? Is there anything in it for me?
You can make... No. Go.
That's so not even fair.
Now, they have to throw back to you.
Oh, to catch.
Yes. Yeah. So you stand here.
This I'm going to be good at. Let's do this. Okay, here we go, folks. Ow! That hit me right in the face. That hit me in the face, Kathy!
You can't let that stop you!
On television, it's all I have is my face.
You can't let that stop you!
I don't believe this. Call my agent. You know, I want to ask you something. Do you have anything that would make me look a little slimmer?
I do.
Hi, ladies. Quick round, tennis for lunch. Sir, put Snapchat down. Let's play tennis. Don't be like that. Tennis, tennis, tennis. They hate me. Well, that's it for me. I've had the greatest time at the U.S. Open, and I will see you on the court, Serena. Oh, my God. Very flattering color on me, by the way, apparently.
But, you know, it's always great to see a woman who can handle a big ball.
Girl, you know I got 2 hands.
You know I mean, so you played, did you grow up playing the violin for real?
I really did, yeah. So I now use it as a racket. I don't play. I haven't played in many years.
You haven't played in many years. Yeah. I think that one of the next spots we should do is we should take you over to the Philharmonic.
That would be genius.
Play with that because I think that your calling is out there and we should really look for it.
That's really nice. I'll take that as a non-subtweet and I will accept it. I'm in. I'll play the violin. You know me. I sweep great. I'm a great swiffer. I'm good
Did you meet any tennis players while you were there? Did you meet any tennis players or were you just with the coaches?
They avoided me like the plague, I'll be honest. So the first I looked like I was landing airplanes in that shirt. It was like they didn't know what the hell I was doing.
It was tennis ball by yellow, green.
It was tennis ball yellow, but it was fun. I have to say, the U.S. Open, we had such a great time, and I watched the match with Douglas Young, that young American player.
Yes.
And Wawrinka, he's such an amazing player, that young. I'm really rooting for him.
Can we talk about the 2 women last, the sisters?
Please,
on the court?
Yeah,
that game. time I watch them, I'm just so happy because, you know, they took so much crap from people. The way they looked was talked about. The way they were physically, there was talked about. But they are extraordinary athletes, and it was fabulous to watch.
Can I just give some really? I have to read it because my words get messed up. If Serena wins the whole U.S. Open, it's the first time a player won each major tournament in 1 year since Steffi Graf did in 1988. Girl, you better take
the Grand Slam.
You
the calendar slam. That's what they call the calendar slam.
A lot of people were rooting for Venus.
Yes.
But,
you know, you root and you root.
Yeah. You root.
You know,
And you root.
Yes. Well, listen, guys, you can see so much more of my day. I know you want to at the Open by going to our website, so check it out later today, and we will be right back. Thank you, guys.
But they're not telling you. Can we talk about it? Can we do it? Oh, okay. So, welcome back. We're having the craziest discussion right now. I know I'm supposed to be talking about something else, but...
Donald Trump, I'm going to talk to you tomorrow about why there's no air conditioning system in the apartment that I just got. There's a hole in my wall. She said this is a roach motel.
It's not a cockroach highway.
It's literally a cockroach highway, and it's ridiculous. Put an air conditioning. I'm from L.A. We flip switches.
But you know what? For those of you who really don't care, have a great day. Take a little time to enjoy the view.